Hey, Wrangler 4xe fans. Had a noted observational change in the way the vehicle operates that I wanted to share on this channel to see if anybody else has noticed this same thing. It's getting colder here in Southwest Ohio. It's Jeep says it's 30 degrees. My watch says 32, so somewhere in that neighborhood. And of course, I keep my Jeep in a garage. Backed it out this morning. I did not preconditioned, didn't warm it up or anything. I just got in and left. And one thing I had noticed in the past is the heat was pretty instantaneous in the vehicle. Like if you started it in electric operation and took off, within a very short amount of time there was warm air coming out of the vents. And I even noted that in a video last winter. If you go all the way, I don't know, it's way back in the videos. I'm getting close to 200 videos in this channel. Can you believe that? And close to 4,200 people. Thank you very much. It's amazing when people subscribe, and I do appreciate that. But I'm climbing out on tree branches here. But one thing like I said, I noticed in the past, the heat was warm really quickly. In fact, I've got a FLIR infrared thingy at work. And I took it out, I shot that on a video last year and saw how fast the vent made it to, or the heat made it to the vents. Well, this morning, and I noticed this a couple times earlier this week, but it wasn't registering what I was seeing until this morning. I drove quite a distance before I finally started, and if you see something in the corner of your screen there, I'm sorry, I've got my co-pilot Daisy with me today. Say hi, Daisy. But I noticed that while I was driving along, cold air was coming out. I put the thing up on high and everything, and it was still cold air for quite a distance. And then finally it started, like it was like somebody flipped a switch somewhere in the system, and it got warm really quickly. And here's what I'm speculating. Here's my theory. I'm wondering if one of the updates along the way has changed a priority structure somewhere in the programming, that the vehicle prioritizes warming the battery first, and then will warm the passenger compartment, to protect the life of the battery. I don't know that. I'm just guessing based on observing how the system is working, and that there's been a noted change. And I'm wondering if anybody else has noted this. Somebody in the group, in the 4xe fans group on Facebook, said something about how theirs takes a little while to get warm. And I was trying to figure that out when they posted that. I'm like, well, that's not the way mine operates. Well, now mine is. And I'm thinking somewhere along the lines, every time you take this thing in for an oil change, they're checking for updates. And I think they're called RRTs. I think that's the right term. And so I'm just curious if that has happened, and if there's anybody in the group that are watching this that kind of understands these systems and maybe knows a little bit about what's going on in them, if you might be able to share that. And of course, I ask that with the understanding that sometimes things happen that Jeep people aren't allowed to talk about too. So understand, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot, and I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, but just curious what your experience is, and curious if you have a Jeep that hasn't been in and been serviced, how does yours operate, and has anybody noticed a drastic change in what appears to be a priority change, which is a good one. I mean, we want to protect the life of that battery, and I don't always notice it because I usually start mine in the garage before I leave. I usually let it run for a little while, and I think I'm giving it time to do that, to warm both the battery and the compartment without it moving down the road, causing it to just get colder. So, I don't know. Curious what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Take care.